But we wanted to talk about two other guys on the team, specifically post players that have been impressing us on and off the floor, ironically. We were just talking about how the Spurs are trying to build dudes on and off the floor. Well, the dude on the floor who's been killing it is Jock Landale. Specifically, Jakob Pertl came out in an interview and said he's been giving us a lot of spacing on the floor, and the way that they're playing with this pace, it's really helped playing with guys like DeJounte, Trey Jones, Lonnie Walker, whoever he's running these full courts with. But the way that he's been able to space has just really changed the offense, it seemed like, with what Jakob said. And he's just been really impressing for somebody who's technically a rookie. Obviously, we know this dude's played Olympic basketball and just won the MVP in a professional organization, but it still is an adjustment to the NBA. And so it was awesome to see that and hear about that from Jock Landale. We had talked about how potentially he might get some minutes this year, but after hearing this, I mean, what are your overall thoughts on him on the team and his prospects for maybe playing?
Maybe playing. I think it's still a little bit of a stretch simply
I
because of
agree.
the guys in front of him. I mean, maybe it'll happen quicker than we were estimating. We thought it maybe around All-Star break he might start getting a few minutes here and there, but it could happen a little bit sooner. I like Jacques Landale's addition to the team. I think that everyone has been impressed with him based on the leap from Australian basketball to American basketball hasn't been as drastic as I think a lot of people were expecting, including me. He seems to have come in immediately and figured out kind of where he fits on the basketball court. And he not only can he stretch the floor, Jude, he's also a big physical presence. You know, a lot of times when you get a guy that can stretch the floor, he's pretty lean and he can't really, bang bodies down low. This guy has the ability to get down and dirty with the rest of the big boys. Pause. And at the same time, chemistry wise, he seems to just kind of, go back and forth with these guys with ease. I think he was there, Alexander, at the party when they all went out and we saw that video of them having a good time. He's already hanging out with the guys and he's already in open gym and he's running, full court basketball. He seems like he's really found a niche here with San Antonio.
If you watch his interview with ESPN Australia, I know I've mentioned this like so many times on the show, but the vibe that I got from the first time I was watching him was I was like, oh, this is a fun dude.
Yeah.
And he's also a guy that I feel like he would be somebody that, you can banter with. Like he's somebody that would poke fun at you, but he only does it to you if he likes you, like that's just his way of, I could see him and DeJounte like talking smack to each other, but like at the end, dapping each other up. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I think that Jock just kind of brings that like kind of, I don't know, alpha vibe. I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah, well, the Australian team's always been
y-
edgy too, so it could
yes,
just be an
exactly.
Australian thing. We can
He's
think
just
about
got
Joe
that
Ingles.
juice. He's just
Yeah.
got that like IDGAF mentality, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I love to see that from Jock. And look, dude, at worst, this just means that we have a ton of depth at the center position. That's all this means. And
Yeah.
with his shooting ability probably means he can play the 4 too. So I know they have him listed as a center on the roster, but you never know with injuries, you might have to do that. So, I mean, a very versatile player. Great news on the signing. And the Spurs knew what they were doing. There's a reason he wasn't a two-way.
100%. And Jakob's impressed with him. And if Jakob can come out and say that he's impressive, that says a lot because
Year
Jakob's
one.
fighting for his starting spot.
Yep.
There's a lot of centers trying to take that spot from him on the roster.
Yep. Exactly. The fact that it came from the starter
He
should tell
started,
you
yeah.
something.